Welcome, everyone, to today's episode of Sarah's Liquid Emporium, where we will dive into stories that shape our world. Now, today's subject is one that's not only interesting but also astonishing: the Eighth Fire Prophecy, a vision rooted in the wisdom of the indigenous people, especially Anishinaabe. This prophecy speaks not only to the past but also to the future, to a time of healing, unity, and choices we must all make together. In a world that often feels divided, the Eighth Fire calls us to walk forward hand in hand, in respect and understanding. Today, we'll uncover the meaning behind this powerful prophecy and what it has to teach us about our world, our communities, and the path we choose. Now, to introduce today's guest, let's welcome Luana.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
Yes, glad to have you here. To start, I do have a few questions. What is the Eighth Fire Prophecy, and how does it relate to the other seven fire prophecies?
The term eighth fire comes from an Aboriginal prophecy that predicts that after 7 generations of conflict, non-natives and natives would come together to build a harmonious relationship. It relates to the 7 fire prophecy because according to them, there would be 7 stages humanity would go through before the arrival of the 8th fire, which represents a great time of healing and change.
Oh, wow, that's very insightful. Thank you for sharing. However, you said that non natives and natives will come together to build a harmonious relationship. What lessons can humanity learn from the seventh fire prophecy that are essential to understanding the eighth fire?
If they choose the right path, the 7th fires will light up the 8th and final fire, which is characterized by respect, wisdom, and spirituality over materialism. This would avoid environmental and social disasters. We can learn to trust the prophecies and to listen to them.
That's great to hear. Really makes you think of things more clearly. And you mentioned trusting the prophecies. What sign do indigenous knowledge keepers see today that indicate we are approaching the time of the eighth fire?
Well, many indigenous knowledge keepers today identify different signs that show us that we're approaching the time of the 8th fire. One significant sign is the increasing awareness and action on environmental issues. Also, the drastic change in our climate and the urgency to protect our natural world resonates deeply with indigenous teachings about living in harmony with nature. Also, there is a remarkable resurgence in indigenous cultures and languages as communities strive to reclaim and preserve their rich heritage. This cultural revival is not only a matter of pride, but also a crucial step towards spiritual and communal healing. Another sign is the increasingly common social justice movements that advocate for the right of Indigenous peoples. The growing political engagement and solidarity among Indigenous and non-Indigenous allies really highlights a collective desire for equality and reconciliation. Also, there's a resurgence of interest in the Indigenous spirituality and a deeper connection with the land, which reflects a spiritual awakening, and this aligns with the prophecy of the 8th fire. All these signs point us towards a future that would be more respectful and, most importantly, united.
Wow, I didn't know that. It's really interesting. I remember you said that now there's a greater connection with the land. What role does the land and connection to the nature play in fulfilling the vision of the eighth fire?
The land and our connection to nature play a crucial role in the fulfillment of the 8th fire because Indigenous teachings really emphasize that living in harmony with the land is essential and everything in the nature world is interconnected and sacred. When we reconcile with nature, we can better understand and we can better address environmental issues while also learning from the cultural and spiritual wisdom of the land.
That was really informative. I'm really glad that you came to my podcast today, Sarah's Liquid Emporium. Thank you for being here, and I'd like to thank all of our listeners for tuning in on this week's episode about the Eighth Fire Prophecy. Next week, we will go build a fire. We're gonna go to the forest, we're gonna build a fire, and you guys get to come with us. That's it for today. Tune in for next time.
Bye.